Well, hello. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am Henry Nutt III, pre-construction executive for Southland Industries, author of 7 Principles, Creating Your Success in the Construction Industry. I'll tell you later how you can get this book. But I'm glad that you're here with me today. I've been doing series on how to get in this industry, how to be successful, how to create your own success, how to navigate through all the dynamic moving parts that exist within this industry. And I want to be your advocate. I want to help you. I've spent 34 years almost in this industry. I got in at 19 years old back in 1987 and have been through my own journey of difficulties and challenges and successes and uphills and downhills and battles internally, externally, figured it out, like done it all in a sense. And my focus is to give back, to share. This industry is in desperate need of new people entering this industry with excitement, with passion, with willingness to step out and make this their career path. For those who don't choose college, or for those who chose college and decide, hey, I want to do something different with my life. Or you're just brand new out of high school and you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. And construction interests you. Well, I'm happy about that because it's been very good for me. It wasn't always good. I've had my upheavals, as I mentioned, in different situations, but ultimately it's been good. Ultimately, I would not change anything that has happened to get to where I'm at today and to learn the things that I've learned, and additionally to know the people that I know. This is about relationships, and people make up the most important parts of this industry. So today, if you're here, you stumbled upon this page or someone referred you here, I'm grateful for you being here, and I hope you take a few minutes to walk with me and what I believe is very important with just some quick tips. 5 points I'll make today. I won't go into real depth about them, but key things that are important for you to be successful. And maybe there are things that you don't think are important or we may take for granted. So we just bypass some steps and maybe we don't find ourselves getting where we want to be, achieving the goals that we have set out for ourselves. Well, I'm hoping that you listen and you'll learn some things that will give you some of the tools, the mindsets, and some of just the practical things that you need to make it in this industry. It's not easy. So my purpose today, again, give you some insight, help you navigate, figure it out, what it is that you need to know, whether it's some building relationships, if it's mastering some of the foundation of this industry that makes up this industry, and just what are your first steps? What do you need to do? So one thing I want you to understand, this is a very dynamic industry. And in this industry, because it is very diverse, there's so many different aspects of it, so many things that we can do. You can go into residential, you can go into commercial, industrial, and you can work on infrastructure projects. There's so many things that make up our industry that are dynamic. And if you've driven around on a road and looked at a landscape horizon, you'll see cranes and you'll see structures coming out of the ground. You'll see bridges being built, roads being paved, and freeways, and all types of different projects that make up the construction industry. My particular industry is working with mechanical contractor, and I do work with engineers, and I work with lots of other folks. But whatever your path is, it's one thing that once you decide, and is learning how you're going to become successful in that. Some of the key sectors and roles that are crucial, whether you're looking at becoming a project manager, an engineer, or just hands-on like myself. Just know that wherever you start doesn't mean that you'll end there. I started out as a pre-apprentice, working with the tools, working through the apprenticeship program, becoming a foreman at one point, superintendent, and then ultimately where I'm at today. So I couldn't tell you when I first started, this is where I was going to end up. I'm still not done yet, but knowing that you don't know, but it's starting somewhere. And that's one of the chapters in my book is we all got to start somewhere, but knowing that we may not end up at that place, and just be open. And sometimes it feels like a ride, because it is indeed. You're going to learn a whole lot of things, and some things will be planned, and others will just you'll discover it as you step out into your journey. What's important, another aspect that's important is understanding terminology and the tools that you're going to be working with. So we want to understand how important it is to know the industry terms and knowing how to navigate your way with the language, the equipment. It's going to help boost your confidence and help you communicate effectively with the people that you're going to work with. Does it mean you have to go read a book and figure it out yourself? No. We'll talk about how we're going to do that, but those are some of the important kind of industry basics. So it's understanding overall the industry makes up that is made up of different types of industries, whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, or infrastructure projects. There are different roles that you can play in the industry, whether you want to work in design as an engineer, whether you want to go into management as a PM, or you want to effectively just work with the tools and one of the different crafts that we'll talk about at another date. But you can do your research and figure that out, and then knowing again essential tools, and terminology for the industry that you're going to select. And there's a language that we have to understand. So what's next? Building professional relationships. Excuse me. I have said, and I will say it over and over and over again, that networking, people make up this industry more than anything that else will ever do. Even with technology playing such an important role in our industry and how we do our jobs, people will always remain a part of what we do. And how we build those relationships are very critical and very important to our success so that we help create success for others as well. So, building a strong professional network is key. Connections will open doors for you. They'll create job opportunities. You might find a mentor, a sponsor, someone who's going to give you valuable advice. We have to be willing to know the power of networking. There's a saying that show me your network and I'll show you your net worth. And so sometimes that work that we create is tied to the people that we have developed relationships with, the people that we know, that we may call associates, or ultimately become our friends. So, what are some tips for effective networking? Think about industry events. I attend lots of events. Some of it is directly related to my job, and others are things I do on my own time. Lots of it is on my own time, and I found it very key and instrumental in how I built bridges across this network of people that I'll run across. Maybe I'll see someone on a regular basis, and maybe I'll see someone once every 5 years. But if I built and established a relationship with that person, it's like, hey, welcome home. Good to see you again. Remember how our experience was. We can kind of build from that. So just know that this industry is very small. If you haven't heard that before, that means to me and to others that you may work with someone day and you're their boss. The next time they might become yours, or they might have switched careers and have went into the owner's role or general contractor, and now you're going to work on a project that they manage. And so the relationship that you established X amount of time ago will come full circle to you in that moment, and you'll know if I did a good thing or I'm going to be struggling because my relationship was poor, and I have to try to rebuild or build a bridge toward that individual so that we can have a better experience. So just remember, and it goes for you as well. You might be someone's boss one day, and the next time that they may be yours, and vice versa, all that. So you just need to know it's a very small industry, and the people that you know will definitely show up again at some point. But attend industry events, join professional organizations, say like AGC. I'm a member of AGC of California. I live in California. There's an association there that is designed to give um, all types of resources and information to help contractors improve their bottom lines ultimately. But there's a host of things that they offer, that will bring you information to help you navigate through, help you build your relationships, help you understand the industry better, help you understand what's coming up, and your place in the industry. And so, if you're a woman in the industry, there's the National Association of Women in Construction, better known as NAWIC. There's so many different programs and organizations that have been established to help people navigate through, because it's not an easy industry, but you don't have to do it by yourself. And if you choose to, that's a personal choice, but there is so much to offer to make sure that you don't have to be doing this alone. So when you do join one of these organizations, don't be afraid to introduce yourself and just get out there, because no one's going to come to you necessarily towards you. You're going to have to advocate for yourself for a while. But joining those groups is going to give you a platform where you can be in a smaller group to feel more comfortable. So making sure you understand networking, building relationships by attending industry events, and many times you're going to do those on your own time. Leveraging social media and online platforms. If you haven't yet, build yourself a LinkedIn profile. I'll tell you, probably about 8 years ago, I began to really get involved with LinkedIn and post things. And I had people that knew me say, hey, one day, people are going to know you and who you are. And I just thought it was a joke. But what I posted and the relationships that I built on that platform have proven to be so critical and crucial in how I navigate through this industry. There are people that I may never physically meet, but I have built relationships across that platform. But you get a chance to share some insights about your career. It is a professional means to express yourself and connect with others. And it's really important that you have yourself a LinkedIn profile. So if you need some help, get some help with that. But very important for you to do it. If you're just getting out of high school, build yourself one, and make sure you use it in a constructive way, because people will look at that and try to see, hey, who are you and what are you doing? And why is it important for me to connect with you? Stay in that, stay involved, stay updated with what's going on with the trends in the industry, and learning from other professionals that are on those platforms, getting tips and tricks from them and their own experiences, because they'll put a lot of stuff out there about what they do. Next one, developing key skills and competencies. So first, let's talk about technical skills. So depending on the role that you're looking at, whether you're trying to master technical skills such as reading blueprints or using like some computer-aided drafting software or understanding construction materials, all that stuff is super critical for you to learn. Again, we'll talk about some areas where you'll learn that. It's not that you have to do all this by yourself, alone in a closet somewhere, but understanding, hey, these are some of the things I need to know. Now let me figure out how I go and get that information. But first, there's a roadmap of what you need to know. There are basic things that you need to know. And that's what we're sharing today, is that, hey, here's what I need to know. Here's my roadmap. Now I'm going to dig into number one first and start going down that path, and getting resources and connecting with people and going online and getting into programs that are going to help me evolve to become the person that I want in my career. So the next one, that was technical skills, and there's a thing called soft skills. I don't really like to use that word, but sometimes it's the only way I can really convey the idea. But it's how we communicate. It's our mindset. Understanding that this industry is solely about relationships and how we solve problems with others. And so teamwork, collaboration, problem solving, effectively engaging with our colleagues and clients. That is all day, every day in this industry. And for the most part, it's every industry. We can't do anything effectively if we don't have the ability to communicate effectively. And so you got to learn that skill. You got to learn how to use your patience, good judgment, when to pause, when to listen, when to speak up. All those things are all important. And it's about emotional intelligence. This is something that we'll talk about at a future date. But it's being aware of yourself and understanding how to navigate the room, how to sense the temperature, the space you're in, and is it a good time to do X, Y, or Z, or is it not? And you understand that because you are aware and keen, and that comes with some growth, maturity, and understanding, and a willingness to learn about the importance of of that. So that's a little bit about soft skills. The other thing important in the competency is continuously learning. We have this saying in this industry is that it's about continuous improvement. And that means that we just never get satisfied with where we're at. We're not satisfied with status quo. We want to always grow. We want to always be in a place where we're developing, we're moving forward, we're making progress, and we're evolving to become something better. And we're learning from the past experiences, whether the past experience was amazing or it was just a piece of crap. You can always go back, reflect, and say, how would I fine tune that one? Sometimes it's really obvious, especially when it's not a well done scenario. You have lots of things to pull from, but recognize that not to get down on yourself, not to feel like a failure, but we learn the most when we fail, and that's really important for me to stress. We learn the most when we fail. And so when we fall down, if we choose to have a mindset that says, yes, I fail, maybe it was my fault, maybe it was someone else's fault, that part doesn't really matter. Now it's about what will I extract from that situation so that I do not fall in that pitfall again, so that I do not repeat that same situation. That's when it's problematic, is when you experienced a failure and you went back and you never learned anything, so you did it again. Or you didn't share that with someone else so that they don't have to go through the same thing. And that's a little bit about what I'm doing here. There's lots of mistakes, lots of poor choices that I may have made in this industry overall. But what I learned from them helped me to become a better version of myself. And that's what we want you to do. That's what I personally want you to do. And I don't, my hope and prayer is that you don't have to go through everything hard in order to figure it out. You can take some advice from some people. You can listen and glean some of that stuff for yourself and become more efficient and productive at a quicker rate than some of us in this industry who've learned through hard knocks. So continuously learning. Next one is cultivating the right mindset. Kind of ties into what we talked about, but think about resilience and adaptability. Um, this industry is so challenging. You're going to have situations that come up on a regular basis that's going to test you. They're going to test your ability to be patient, to get back up off the ground when you fail, to adapt to situations that are ever changing. So being resilient and adaptable, it helps you navigate the setbacks, the disappointments, the issues that are bound to happen, the change that will occur on a job site. And if you are not flexible and willing to navigate and switch things up in real time, one, you'll find yourself not employed on a regular basis because you'll probably be a problem child, not really willing to adapt, to go with this flow. And not saying anyone's telling you to do anything wrong or even unsafe. It's just recognizing change happens in this industry. We have a T-shirt about that. Change happens. It happens all the time, and we have to be willing to adjust in real time and keep moving, keep flowing because time is money. And so be prepared to have a skill set that allows you, or the skill set that demands your resiliency and your adaptability. Being a self advocate is the next one. You got to promote yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to speak up for yourself. You got to ask questions. You got to seek opportunities to grow. Your career development, it's in your hands. It's what you are doing for yourself. And sometimes it's what you do based on the day you have and how you choose to, like, when the game is over for the day, how are you sharpening your tool? How are you preparing yourself for the next day? What are you extracting from your own experiences and say, how can I be better? It doesn't matter what your job is. You may have this menial task kind of job in the beginning and feel like, it doesn't matter. Know someone's watching you. Note that someone is seeing what you are doing and how you are conducting yourself. I've had to fire people that thought they were not being watched. One was working when I was there, when I wasn't there. The other one would stop working when I wasn't there, and they thought I didn't see that. And so he might have lasted maybe 2 days at the max because he wasn't there to really perform the job. He was there to just perform. when he was being observed, but otherwise his motivations were in the wrong place, and so we had to let him go. So it's important that you recognize that you gotta one look to grow. So speaking for yourself, ask questions, seek opportunities for your growth. Your career development truly is in your hands, and people will recognize that quickly and want to invest in you based on your actions. Next one, confidence and self belief. Believe in your abilities. Hey, you may not know a whole lot yet, but what you do know, believe in your abilities and the value that you do bring to the table. Again, whether you are in the menial task mode and doing things that don't seem like they're valuable, your job is important, and it's important for you to perform it to your best capabilities. It's, as I said, asking questions and understanding what you need to do. But then when you go do it with all your might. Go do it with excellence. That should be a mantra. Do it with excellence no matter what role you're playing. Believe in yourself to know that, hey, if I am, my job is to pull the cords and sweep and clean for a season of my career. I'm going to be the best sweeper and cleaner and cord puller there is. I'm going to be efficient. I'm going to figure out ways to make this process go faster so I can get that part done and then possibly go work with my team and learn some things about the trade. That won't come because you want it to. That's necessarily. It'll become reality because of how you perform and how you work and showcase your skill set, showcase your capability, showcase your drive to be a better performer at the job. And just know that people are watching you and they will take note of that and say, hey, we want to put you in a different position. We want to go do this other kind of task that gives you a little bit more, you know, essentially preference. And that's really important. Next one is cultivating the right mindset. You again kind of ties back into we're working with people and how you show up, not just with the right tools, the right safety gear, but you got to have the right mindset to go along with it. So we kind of talked about that a little bit with the resilience and being a self advocate and confidence and self belief. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Um, this one's important, and it's the last one before we close out. Is professional development. So kind of ties into what we talked about in the beginning in regards to how you're going to learn some of this stuff. It's not just about reading books. It's not just it is about that, but what's really what's really going to help you if you're someone who is really brand new into this and maybe you're listening to this and you actually know somebody who's just starting out and they just need to figure out what is the next step for me. I know I'm not going to college. I don't want to do that. So what am I going to do? Well, there are so many great programs out there. Um, there are pre-apprenticeship programs. So professional development is about once you get the idea of being an advocate for yourself, being confident with your skill set, understanding how to be resilient and adapt to change. Get yourself in a program that's going to teach you some of the fundamentals, some of the basics of the trade that we talked about, and understand how you move through that process. There are 6 week to 12, 18-week programs in every community across the United States. I'm learning that they're popping up everywhere. Not all of them are great, but there are many really good ones. And I'm going to name a few that I've partnered with. In Southland, we partner with at work. And it's really a two-way street because not only are we sharing information to students that are looking to enter the industry of any type, of any they're not necessarily defined if they want to lay tile or they want to hang ductwork. They're all figuring it out, but they're in that same space to learn. But what how they show up is about how far they get to go. And that show up mentality is about them having the passion and the drive to be a better version of themselves and learning a skill that is going to help them have access and open doors. So First one, these are in no particular order, but if you're in the Sacramento area, we work and partner with people working together. In San Francisco, there's City Build. We've had a long-term relationship with City Build. Personally, I've been involved with them for probably almost since their inception, but about 13, 14 years for us, the Southland. Rising Sun is another one in the city of Oakland that has a great program that will, again, give you the fundamentals and the basics. Cypress Mandela is another one in Oakland that will do the same. Fortitude Careers, they're in Redwood City. They have a program for folks coming out of the high school that want to enter the industry and get some basics. And all these programs have partnerships with contractors. So they have people from general contractors to actual trades folks coming into their classroom, doing hands-on workshops, building things, and they have rigorous programs that will. Not everyone gets in. It's not just the easy button. It is hard work. There are early mornings and long days. Some people will work in addition to this because they're not necessarily getting paid in these programs, but they're investing in themselves in a way to put themselves in position to really build an awesome career. What I want to close out with is really what is the call to action here for you. Um, Understand the industry basics. Build your strong professional relationships. Develop both technical and soft skills so you can cultivate that resiliency and a confident mindset. It's so important for you to have that confidence. Prepare yourself for the actual work, the reapprenticeship programs. They're critically important. You can't do it alone, and those relationships will be critical and key for you. So, what is it that I want to leave you with for encouragement? Remember that every expert was once a beginner. No one starts out with everything, and we build ourselves into something, and those some things are parts and pieces along the way that we call our journey. And this is a journey. It's a journey into construction. It's a beginning. The possibilities are endless, but they're also up to you as far as how far you will go. The call to action, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content like this. You can find me on this page and go through my videos, and not all of them are for everyone, and that's fine. But share your thoughts, your questions in the comments below, and let's build a supportive community together. That is what my mission is. And so thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video and look at the next one. Until next time, make it a great day.